just to put it into context, is based on a kind of very simple idea, which is to combine the winners' lists for all of the top award shows on the planet. Last year that was 41, and these shows are in film, in print, in digital, and in all guns blazing. And some of the shows are global, some are regional, some are national. We consider all equally important. All guns blazing is our term for what the award shows variously call integrated content and content, titanium, innovative, and so on. Now, and the result of that is, in fact, our annual report, which also includes the DVD, the showreel of the year. That's the 100 most awarded commercials and campaigns in the world in the year that was. And what we'll do today is we're going to reveal to you the results, the findings of the key tables in the bottom half of that slide. I think we'll manage to cram in 9 of the 11 tables. Also show you, regretfully, just a smattering of the work in passing, and also hope to convince at least, or persuade at least some of you, that adding up award show winners for a living is not an entirely frivolous endeavor. But first let's have a commercial break, just to get our creative juices flowing. Alex, let's see 2 of the spots that are certainly destined for the showreel of the year 2010.
Same old story, one more time. I know it happens, if not by accident. Oh baby, it's by chance, but we're not trying to make it different now. It just feels funny to know it's for every day.
Dans un camion de livraison, et puis j'atterris ici. Oh, c'est incroyable. Hein? T'entends ça, chérie?
Bah oui, c'est fou.
Well, these came from Argentina, the first one, and from France. And so we'll maybe look at the countries table quickly. There's, after 12 years of the Gunn report, this 2010 is the 12th year, there are 37 countries in the world that have ever been in the countries table. That's the top 25 countries each year. We had one debut in 2010, and that was Turkey. And I'll just show you, like, the bottom part, the sort of upper reach of the table, from 10 upwards. There's 25 in the table. The numbers across show points in film, print, digital, all guns blazing in total. The figures in brackets are the position in the year before, in 2009. So actually, all of these in the 10 to 6 range were also in the top 10 last year. Countries tend to be very consistent. And coming to the top 5, we had a surge into the table from Sweden, highest ranking ever, basically digital-led. And we had a very big comeback from France into 3rd position. But the top 2 in the table, no surprise, It's the UK second, USA first. They have been the top two in 12 years out of 12, and in every year but one actually in that order, USA first, UK second. But certainly advertising is an industry in which the UK bats above its weight. Quick look in the same way at Advertisers in 2010 and who were the winners. Again, we'll just look from the top part of the table of 25 upwards. As you can see there, Adidas, Burger King and Axe were all in the top 10 the year before. And here's the top 5. Uniqlo from Japan, Nokia doing very well, IKEA doing very well, Nike second, which they were the year before, and top on the table, and they were that the year before as well, Volkswagen. In fact, Volkswagen have topped this table 10 years out of 12 that we've had it, and Nike have never been out of the top 5. Third best on a consolidated basis is actually Sony, who weren't in the table this year. And this is a chart that new business directors quite like. It's the most awarded advertisers in the world, 1999 to 2010. So anyone who's been in the table more than twice, it is on this slide. The brackets, the figures in brackets say the number of years in the table. So Nike and Volkswagen are the only ones who have been in it all 12 years. Sony 11, Adidas 10, and so on. And if any new business directors want a copy of the chart, they could ask Emma or myself afterwards. Right, here, we're going to try and cram in a few ads. It's going to be very hard, and it's a bit of torture to not show very many. Print ads and campaigns is table 5 in the Gunn report each year, and we identify and review the 50 most awarded. So let's just squeeze in a smattering of the print that the world liked best in 2010. This is sweet. It's from France, from Findus fries, and the thought is Granny's fries without the granny. This is from Anomaly in New York, and it's the Diesel Be Stupid campaign. Smart may have the brains, but stupid has the balls. Smart critiques, stupid creates, and other sample headlines were Smart has the plans, stupid has the stories. Stupid is trial and error, mainly error. This is from Brazil, and it's for L'Univers de Chocolat, who make chocolate with whiskey. Right, this is from M&C Saatchi in London. Worth reading that, just one. Get off at the fashionable end of Oxford Street, drift into the achingly cool technology hall of London's most happening department store, and view this year's must-have plasma, courtesy of the sound and vision technologists in the Marc Jacobs sandals. Then go to dixons.co.uk and buy it. And you can use the same strategy at Harrods. Stroll through haberdashery to the audiovisual, where an awfully well brought up young man will bend over backwards to find the right TV for you, and then go to dixons.uk and buy it. Right, this is from Brazil, and it's for Billboard magazine, and the concept is music. It's what see what it's made of. So they're using like coloured dots. So Amy's colour dots are blue for Sarah Vaughan, pink for Marvin Gaye, it gives a key, yellow for Billie Holiday, and black for Sid Vicious. Whereas Marilyn Manson is made of blue Kiss, pink Ozzy, yellow The Curl, and black Cher. And finally, last print thing I'll show. This is the Zimbabwean, which is a newspaper in South Africa, which raises money to support the opposition in Zimbabwe up above. And the campaign was based on printing their posters and also doing direct mail and so on, using real Zimbabwean dollar bills, because it's cheaper than paper. And for instance, 250 million Zimbabwean dollars couldn't buy the paper to print this poster on. So, you know, we had a lot of very nice print in 2010 and good TV, but I think in the last couple of years, including last year, quite a lot, a great many indeed, of the most talked about and awarded and applauded ideas, maybe the future Hall of Famers, came in the area of all guns blazing, often digital-led, and also innovative outdoor installation. Ideas like the world's largest signpost. This was for Nokia GPS navigation services. It was on a crane near Tower Bridge, and you could text in your favorite location anywhere in the world, and it would swivel and point in its direction and tell you the distance. Ideas like Gatorade's replay, reunite the original players, now in their mid-30s, and the coaches and the referees and the cheerleaders to replay a high school football game from 1993 that ended in a 7-7 tie. Ideas also like IKEA's Facebook showroom. They kind of hijack Facebook profiles to upload pictures of IKEA rooms, and then the person who tags their name on a product first wins it, and it kind of extended the borders of IKEA in Malmö to many corners of the globe. Or, how about a road that plays a tune by means of a groove that's engineered into the asphalt? If you drive at the right speed, it'll play the tune. And this was a safety installation by Dunlop Tires in Japan. And I think everyone remembers this. On a grey January morning, imagine in Liverpool Street Station, suddenly the tannoy system is hijacked for 3 minutes of great dance music, and people get on their phones to take photographs and text their friends and phone them about it, and they've reenacted the same sort of stunt of late in Heathrow's Terminal 5. This is for 4 and 20 meat pies in Australia, and it's a magic salad plate, and it was just a one-off promotion, but it just got so much news coverage and buzz and talk. The idea was that you could eat your meat pie, but women would think you were eating salad with it, and give you their phone numbers. This is Andes beer in Argentina, similarly a cheeky idea. It enabled blokes in bars to go into this machine, which had ambient sound effects, and you could phone home alibis, like I'm at the hospital, or I'm looking after my nephew, or I'm in the toilet with diarrhea, was one. And just one more from the idea of, the new sort of ideas that are so good. This is the Nike Live Strong campaign, supporting Lance Armstrong's fight against cancer, and they invented a new medium which is called the Chalkbot, which was a mechanized pneumatic robot that printed messages of memoriam and hope and courage for the whole world to see over 13 stages of the Tour de France. Okay, let's start finding out some more winners. And agencies. Now, in the Gunn report, the agency table is a big one. It's 50 long, and actually, anyone who gets into that table any year, this must be a great place to work and a great place to be a client. Jacques Seguela coined the phrase for it, the top 50 club, and so we're going to go right for the creme de la creme, though, because we're only going to see the top 10 of the 50. Certainly some names to conjure with on that slide of 10 up to 6, and as you can see, USA and Sweden and the UK are represented there. UK takes the 5th place, and this is by far the best ever performance by Raina Kelly, Campbell Rolfe, YNR in London. They came 5th. They've only been once before in the table, and that was 40th. Whereas the third equal pair, Dentsu and Wieden and Kennedy, Portland Or, have both been previous winners of the table. And they had 40 points each. Up 10 points, and second most awarded agency in the world in 2010 was BETC or RCG in Paris. They did the Canal Plus commercial that we just saw. 50 points. Now, 50 points would have won this table in all but about 3 years out of the 12, but it wasn't enough last year because Almat BBDO in Sao Paulo got 5 points more. So the most awarded agency in the world, Andrew, I think may have heard from Emma slightly before the lunch, is their office in Sao Paulo, which is just great. And we also have a table for agencies in digital, and this means specialist digital agencies the network arms, you know, like Tribal DDB, ARC, Proximity, EuroRCG, 4G, and so on, and also traditional mainstream agencies who've embraced digital with resounding success. And actually that third group, in 2010 for the first time, took the most of the points. They had about 58%, specialists had 35%, and network arms had 7%, something like that. Before it had been kind of 50-50 between specialists and traditional mainstream agencies. And here's the top four. The top four, and you see, look, there's DDB London, Goodby in there. There's actually 3 former winners of the table in that little group. Goodby's won it, Far were tied for winner first year, CPB, Crispin's have won it. However, we had a tie again in 2010, and there you are, they both came from Sweden. DDB Stockholm and Forsman and Bodenvors of Gothenburg. So now I'll show you the winners in each of the 4 discipline tables. So the most awarded commercials in the world in 2010. This will be, you know, on money websites tonight, in many papers by the end of the week. Runners-up were the Viagra campaign from Canada, the Cadbury's Dairy Milk campaign from Argentina, and James Bogue's, which my daughter's working on as account executive in Sydney. From 18 points, we jumped to 34, so a resounding win for France and Canal Plus Closet in commercials. In print, the runners-up, we saw them both in our little show, Billboard magazine from Brazil and the Zimbabwean newspaper were second equal. The winner was Dixon's. Dixons.co.uk, M&C Saatchi London. In digital, the Nokia crane was second. The JFK Presidential Library moon landing anniversary thing, which put you on your computer back into mission control in Houston 40 years ago, came third. It was great. But the winner actually of that one was the IKEA Facebook showroom from Sweden. And finally, in All Guns Blazing, the Zimbabwean, which was not just posters and out of home, but sampling and direct mail and so on, was second. Heineken from Italy, the cinema campaign, the in-cinema campaign, and Shelter, well done, Lebanon, London, were third equal, most awarded. But the winner in All Guns Blazing and the Gun Report 2010, the Nike Live Strong campaign, based around the Lance Armstrong Foundation fighting against cancer, and also that chalkbot painting the slogans on the Tour de France. Now, as a sort of underpinning to prove that this is not entirely a frivolous endeavour, which I mentioned earlier, up until last year, we relied on the Leo Burnett dual award-winning commercial cell study, which I actually was the impetuous volunteer who had the idea and then had to bloody carry it out. But this was back in 92 to 95, and we got a very convincing result. However, 92 to 95 is a long time ago, but in 2010, we had the IPA gun study. And this was thought up by the IPA, and it was the results of merging IPA effectiveness data with Gun Report Creative Awards data, and it was sponsored by ThinkBox, but the most important thing, it was carried out by Peter Field, who I think a lot of you will know, who is a wonderful chap and a very respected independent researcher. And it was kind of based on taking all the IPA effectiveness winners over 10 years and splitting them into 2 groups. Those that were effectiveness winners, but not creative winners at the top level, according to the Gun Report data, and those that were effectiveness winners and creative winners in, you know, the shows in England, the shows in Cannes, etc., etc. And Peter interrogated the data in a whole lot of different ways and analysed it and came up with some really convincing findings in favour of creativity. But I'm just going to dig one of them out, because apparently extra share of voice, according to the IPA's experience, is a very common and important factor in campaigns that are effective. And they know from over 1,000 examples in their database, so a very big sample, that on average, 10 points of extra share of voice results in 1.1 points of extra market share. So 10 points, 1.1. However, for the effectiveness awarded but not creatively awarded part of the sample, it was actually 0.5. But for the effectiveness awarded and creatively awarded part of the sample, it was 5.7, which is 11 times better, 11 times more efficient. And we often, when we have to do presentations to clients or at conferences and so on, we always try and finish with a section called Bullets from Gunn, just to show that the work that is winning awards and getting in the Gunn report is also nearly always doing something really good for the client. Bullets from Gunn came from Brett. That was coined by Matthias of Firefly. Matthias Palm Jensen, founder of Pharma, came up with the name Bullets from Gunn. Well, at the rate that I'll show you a few now, before getting to our final table, it'll be more like machine gun fire from gun. But here's just a few Right, Gatorade. The replay, bringing together these two teams to replay a match that was a tie 15 years ago. Sales in the region the contest was held soared by 63%, but the thing got mega news, free media coverage, and there's a whole queue of schools and colleges saying, can we have a replay of our game next? Please, Gatorade. Canal Plus Closet, the most awarded commercial last year. The TNS study in France reports now that 10% of people, when you ask why have you become a new subscriber to Canal Plus, say the advertising. Second most awarded last year was the Viagra campaign from Canada, where elderly couples are cured of their strolling or antiquing or reading habits, thanks to. And Viagra has retained 2/3 of the Canadian market, despite two major competitive launches. Third most awarded was the Cadbury's Chocolatometer campaign from Argentina, where a man's worth is measured in pieces of chocolate. And sales are up 48% thanks to the campaign, and Cadbury has moved from rather way down to the #1 chocolate of women in Argentina. Fourth most awarded, this is the one my daughter works on, Jamesburg's beer in Australia. This is the Pure Waters commercial. Sales were up 134% in the year following launch. That Melody Road store, the road that plays a tune in Japan, not only were traffic fatalities down 20% in the Nagano prefecture, but tourist revenue was up 20% because the road has become a major tourist attraction. As for the Magic Salad Plate, there was a 40% increase in single-serve sales and 27% increase in 4-packs. And in the case of Nike Livestrong, there's a Livestrong brand of sports kit. So their sales grew 46%, and Nike were able to donate $4 million to the foundation's Fight Against Cancer. This signpost down at the Tower Bridge, already, admittedly, it was quite a new thing, but they generated a 129% increase in users of GPS navigation services from Nokia. And I think that's it. No? Yeah, right, good. So we come to the very last group, which is agency networks. And, you know, I was going to do the top 15, but I think to make it not so rushed, I'll show you. There's 20 in the table, and it includes what we call fledgling networks like Jung von Matt and BBH and Winder and Kennedy and Mother, which only have 5 or so offices compared to 150 or so for the big networks, but they can get as many points as you can see there. But I think I'll start from number 10 and just give the odd comment. Now, you know, McCann is, okay, they slipped from 8th to 10th last year, but they had 66 points, which is a very good score. And this is a case in point about really a recommitment and a revival of creative ambition. And really, I think that the situation now is it's getting hard to do well because nobody wants to be identified as reliable and service-driven anymore. Everybody wants good creative work. McCann's a case in point. They were languishing at 16th place in the table as late as, in 2005, but now they're always firmly ensconced in the top 10. And Euro RSCG, moving up to 9th, they're advancing very strongly. They were 17th in 2007, 17th in 2008, one of 3 11th equals last year, and now 9th, and with 85% more points than the year before. And I think David Jones and Jacques Segala and René Babinet will be pretty pleased that that's going in the right way. In 8th position, Saatchi is now, oh no, can we go back one, Alex? Sorry. Thank you. Saatchi's were in 8th position, and they had 84 points. Yeah, thank you. And this is a very respectable score, but actually Saatchi's are the yo-yo network in the table because usually they're in the top 5. They've been in the top 5 10 years out of 12. Then they had a dip in 2007 and another dip, still with a pretty good score last year. JWT, amazing. They were 7th with 98 points. And actually, to show you how the things are moving, that's 8 more points than last year, but actually 1 position lower because there's this upward mobility going on. But JWT, their average point score in the first 5 years of the Gunn report was 28 per year, and their average points in the last 5 years have been 89. Star office in 2010 was JWT Italia. Now, Y&R, they are rocketing up the table. They're up from 14th in 2007, 12th in 2008, 9th in 2009. Points total in 2009 was 52. Points total last year, 99. That's 90% better. Star office was London, but very strong support from New York and Buenos Aires. And now we come to the top 5. And 5th in the Gunn report in 2010 came TBWA, 101 points, up from 7th the year before. Star office in 2010, TBWA, Hunt Lascaris in Johannesburg, very strong support from New York, LA, and Paris. 4th, I'm proud to say, Leo Burnett, and they're in the same position as the year before, but with 20% more points. Now, Leo Burnett is interesting because this is the network with the most offices that can contribute to their Gunn report score, because they have something called the GPC, the Global Product Committee. And also, another thing about Leo Burnett is that they've been the most awarded network 3 years in a row in all guns blazing. 3rd is Ogilvy Mather. Now, Ogilvy's 3rd last year was their highest ever finish. So they've done really well to stay there and with more points. The other thing is that Ogilvy traditionally has always been the strongest network in Asia, but in 2010 the rest of the world got into the Act too, which is a big change. And Paris, Cape Town plus Joburg, Buenos Aires and Mexico City were all in the top 50 agencies table. So well done, Ogilvy. And there's only 2 left. And second was DDB, 159 points. They were also second in 2009. And DDB have never in 12 years been out of the top 4 in this table. And it's interesting because their traditional strength of DDB is in Europe, plus USA, as a sort of backup. But as with Ogilvy, the creative base of excellence is broadening, and the rest of the world was playing a part for DDB, like Sweden, like Mexico City last year. Now, DDB's total, pity Andrew's not back, Anyway, DDB's total of 159 points would have topped Table 11 in any Gunn report year, bar the last three. However, One Network surpassed it in 2010 by a full 43 points. So the most awarded agency network in the world in 2010, with the awesome total of 2,002 points, is BBDO Worldwide. Well done, Adrian. And you know, in 12 years of the Gunn report, DDB has topped this table twice, TBWA once, Leo Burnett once, and BBDO has now topped it 8 times out of 12. And they have this mantra, the work, the work, the work. And the evidence suggests it's more than just a slogan, but more a way of life. And it certainly beats the hell out of the meetings, the meetings, the meetings, or the politics, the politics, the politics, as a way to run an advertising agency. So that is all I've got time for today. Thank you very much for inviting us here. I hope you all enjoyed the lunch as much as I did, and also Andrew's excellent presentation. And thanks for staying on right to the end to be the first to know the results of the Gunn Report 2010. Thank you.